So I finally got around to seeing the latest from Clint Eastwood, Juror number 2. This ain't your granddaddy's Clint Eastwood movie. And that makes sense as the former action star and Oscar-winning director is now himself a granddaddy. And heck, maybe even a great-granddaddy. Checking Wikipedia. Okay, looking at Wikipedia to see how many grand or great-grandkids Clint has. That's an entire video unto itself, and one I'm not interested in making. Suffice it to say, this isn't what you might think of when you think of the iconic director's work. That said, first impressions aside, Eastwood has wandered off his well-beaten path of Western, detective, action-oriented pictures a long time ago. In fact, his third directorial effort, Breezy, in 1973, was a little-known romantic drama, back when they used to make them, starring Kay Lenz and William Goldenboy Holden. That film centers around a May-December romance between Lenz and the elder Holden. For those who don't savvy, a May-December romance is a relationship between two people with a significant age difference. Interesting, one of Holden's most famous roles was in Sunset Boulevard, where he played a May to Gloria Swanson's December. Breezy, to wrap up this ever-winding sidetrack, is a sort of Sunset Boulevard meets Lolita without the successful drama, comedy, and pool murder. It's an interesting little film, mostly interesting for being an artifact and reflection of the period in which it was made. Aging Mad Men era meets the hippie movement.
Oh, and hey, man. You're out of sight.
But it's one of the few box office failures Eastwood has on his resume and is probably his least remembered work. Honky Tonk Man and Bronco Billy are other honorable mentions of Eastwood taking a chance, diverting from the more successful genre paths that made him a star. No spoilers in this, I'll give a brief summary and then give you my opinion. Juror number 2 centers on Justin, played by Nicholas Hoult, a recovering alcoholic and journalist who lives with his expectant wife who is due any day now with a high-risk pregnancy. These two live the cinematic fantasy lives of a rural schoolteacher and lifestyle magazine blogger who apparently make property buying money. But isn't the escapism why we go to movies in the first place? In spite of this looming high-risk pregnancy, Justin is empaneled on a jury for a high-profile murder case. Gotta love the names in this one. The defendant's name is James Scythe, the Grim Reaper's tool. The case is being prosecuted by Toni Collette's Faith Killerbrew. She's running for DA, and winning this case will be a crown jewel in her campaign. And it seems like a slam dunk. A woman is murdered by her angry red boyfriend, who has a checkered past with prior convictions for violent gang activity. At first, it feels like we've stumbled upon Eastwood's version of 12 Angry Men and Women, as every juror is convinced the defendant is guilty, and it's Justin's lone belief otherwise that is holding up a unanimous verdict and early end to everybody's civic duty. But we learn as the trial lawyers present their cases that Justin remembers this particular night on the same road where he thought that he had hit a deer, positing the question in our minds that maybe Justin is the cause of the victim's death. This complication signifies the departure from 12 Angry Men and brings us more into the realm of mystery. Did Reaper boyfriend do it, or is Justin guilty? And if Justin is guilty, will he step up and take responsibility? Or will he let the Reaper boyfriend take the fall? Or could Justin derail the case to avoid taking responsibility while helping Reaper boyfriend go free, if Reaper boyfriend is indeed innocent? All this and more. I like this movie, not as much as The Gauntlet or High Plains Drifter. Courtroom-based movies generally aren't my thing, but it was definitely one of Eastwood's better B pictures. I tend to group Eastwood's movies into A, or more prestige pictures, and B pictures where he has an idea or concept that he wants to explore, or sometimes it's just a standard crime flick that Eastwood makes just to stay on top of his craft. Sometimes those B pictures turn out to be big hits, like Every Which Way But Loose, which was the second highest grossing picture of its year, second only to big-budget Superman.
Bang!
Or Gran Torino, small-budget films that really strike a chord with audiences and deliver big box office. Yeah, that's what studios like. Small risk, big reward. How come they don't do more of that anymore? Oh, because they're run by big risk-averse multinational corporations.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
The leads in this are very good, and props to Holt's management team. From Mad Max to The Menu to this, he's making some nice choices for roles and crafting a broad resume of work. I've been a fan of Toni Collette since Clock Watchers, and she was made for roles like this one. J.K. Simmons has a smaller role as another juror, former detective who starts conducting his own investigation into what really happened. And Kiefer Sutherland shows up for about 3 scenes as Justin's AA mentor and legal advisor, as the character turns out to be a lawyer. Nice performance by the former Lost Boy, whose dad, I think, served with Eastwood in World War II.
That's my other dog imitation.
A strong sense of loss permeates the film. Everyone has lost someone or something, all the while Toni Collette's character is trying not to lose her DA bid. As much as I did like this well-crafted, smaller-budget film, I had a few problems.
Yeah, I got a fucking problem. I got a big fucking problem.
Okay, maybe not that big, but a few. Often in Eastwood's B pictures, some of the supporting cast, sometimes you get some stiff performances. Maybe the actors needed more warm-up time, and Eastwood is notorious for shooting quickly. Not a lot of takes. As longtime Eastwood stable actor Jeffrey Lewis said of Clint,
Couple things I learned from Clint making movies. One is you hire good people and leave them alone. And the second is that you print the first take and move on.
or maybe the actors didn't get a lot of backstory with their characters, so there wasn't a lot to chew on. And probably Clint was just like, it's good enough. The supporting cast doesn't have to be Stanislavski. Some other minor nitpicks that are common with Eastwood B pictures, there's some on-the-nose dialogue. Again, supporting characters can be one-dimensional, or sometimes they're put there to provide simple characterizations or for narrative expediency. Like the old guy who claims to witness the murder. When Colette's character calls upon him at home to re-examine his testimony, we can immediately tell from the tone of the scene we're meant to start questioning the defendant's presumed guilt. A major point in the story is the Reaper accused of beating his girlfriend to death. Bit of a spoiler here for the next 10 seconds. She's actually hit by a car. I think the coroner would have been able to tell the difference between bludgeoning and hit and run. They're really good at figuring that stuff out now. If you have a different opinion, please let me know in the comment section. I like this movie, and again, I generally don't care for anything to do with courtroom settings or emergency rooms, hospitals, that kind of thing. But this set up a decent premise and complicated it in a satisfactory way. I appreciated that it didn't really dumb anything down for me, and was the kind of more mature, thought-provoking content that I think we need more of. I'm all for Star Wars, Marvel, and big-budget adventures, but if we're going to move forward as adults in this world, maybe a little more art that helps us grapple with that is a good thing. Thanks for clicking in.